On the evening of April 14, 1912, the Titanic submarine began its journey from the port side of Southampton, England. Its final destination was in New York City, America. Little did they know that 4 days into its voyage, it would experience an unfortunate fate. On the morning of April 15th, the Titanic came into contact with an iceberg. This caused multiple holes to form in the ship, specifically its bow. Water quickly began filling the ship and it soon began sinking. At 11:40 p.m., the Titanic finally succumbed to the sea and ultimately divided into two. About 2,224 people were aboard the ship, roughly 1,503 dead and 720 alive. Passengers and crew members started to use the limited lifeboats available to be rescued. Women and children were given priority to board the few functional lifeboats. The officers on the boat reportedly made a strict policy, which forbid third-class passengers to get on the lifeboats. The survivors were picked up by the passing RMS Carpathia, belonging to the White Star Line. Many rescue efforts failed despite the fact that the Titanic had called out for help. By the time the Titanic went into shipwreck, it had actually broken in two. Its stern filled with air until eventually it sank into the bottom of the ocean. Its bow actually separated from the body of the ship, and started to sink. Remains of the Titanic were found not too long after the accident. The main victims of it were the poorest, the third-class passengers. Without the third class being allowed onto the lifeboats, the death toll was extraordinarily high. The accident was a consequence of the lack of proper protection regulations on board. Sadly, the White Star Line's negligence was tremendously noticeable on the fateful night. The British Board of Trade was also criticized for creating inadequate, skeletal regulations. Survivors of the tragedy had to carry with them lifelong trauma and grief. Accounts of the incident and the sea become a notorious reminder of the tragedy. Since then, its remains have been examined and archaeological expeditions have been made.